Welcome to Quick Bite, your fast and friendly Florida insurance update.
Hello. This is Rashonda with the ISOM Insurance Group right here in the sunshine state of Florida, back again with another Quick Bite episode, your fast and informative insurance market update. Today is Monday, November 17th, 2025, and we're diving into something a lot of Floridians are asking about. As e-bikes become more and more popular, e-bike insurance is what the topic is. The Yahoo personal finance article we're reviewing today does a great job breaking down the basics, the gaps, and the options. And trust me, even if you don't ride an e-bike, knowing this information matters because these bikes are everywhere. And I mean everywhere. In neighborhoods, bike lanes, college campuses, and even riding along Florida beaches. Let's get into what the article says, what it means for riders here in Florida, and whether an e-bike insurance policy might actually be a smart decision for you. One of the first things the article points out is that there isn't one universal definition of an e-bike. Most states, including Florida, generally follow the same guidelines. An e-bike usually has a battery and a small electric motor that assists your pedaling as long as that motor doesn't exceed 750 watts. It typically counts as an e-bike and falls under bicycle style regulations. The article also goes through the three classes used by most states. Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes are capped at about 20 miles per hour, with Class 2 adding a throttle that can run without pedaling. Class 3 bikes can assist riders up to 28 miles per hour and sometimes come with additional rules such as mandatory helmets or minimum age requirements. I've seen this cause confusion right here in Florida. For example, many homeowners associations, especially in active communities, regulate throttle bikes differently than pedal assist bikes. And if the wattage is too high or the speed limit is too fast, you may suddenly find that your e-bike is no longer considered a bicycle at all, but a moped, which triggers a completely different set of rules. The article makes it clear that most states, including Florida, do not require riders to carry insurance for standard e bikes. They are treated just like regular bicycles, which means no registration, no plates, and no mandatory coverage. But this is where the details matter. If your bike exceeds your state's definition, for instance, if it has more than 750 watts or it can reach speeds that push it out of the regulated class, then your bike may no longer be viewed as an e-bike. It might legally be treated as a moped or motorized scooter. Once that happens, insurance can become mandatory. This is something Florida riders run into more often than you would think. I've spoken to riders who've added aftermarket kits that increase speed or power. They thought they still had a regular e-bike, but once the specs changed, the insurance requirements changed too. So, even though insurance isn't required for most e-bikes, you need to fully understand your bike's classification. A lot of people assume, well, my homeowner's insurance will cover my e-bike. That's where the article gives a much needed reality check. Your homeowner's or renter's insurance may cover certain situations like your bike being stolen from your home or damage caused by a fire or vandalism, but that coverage often comes with strict limits, exclusions, or small sublimits that don't come close to the full cost of an e-bike. More importantly, your home insurance usually won't help you at all once you actually take the bike out and ride it. If you crash the e bike, if you damage someone else's property, if someone steals it while you're out, or if you accidentally injure a pedestrian, your homeowner's policy typically doesn't step in. And several home policies go even further and specifically exclude electric bikes from coverage entirely. With the phenomenon of these electric bikes becoming so popular, I am seeing a lot of homeowners carriers put in that exclusion into the policy language. It's one of the biggest areas where riders learn too late that they're not covered. This is where the article starts breaking down the true value of a standalone e bike policy. E-bike insurance is designed to function much more like a small-scale auto policy. It covers your bike itself, but also the financial risk of riding it. The policy usually starts with physical damage coverage, which helps you repair or replace the bike if it's stolen, vandalized, or damaged by weather events. Collision coverage helps when your e-bike is damaged in a crash, even if you caused it. In Florida, where e-bikes being stolen, storms, and traffic interactions are common, this is crucial. Then there's liability coverage. If you hit a pedestrian, damage a parked car, or even cause an injury, liability steps in. The article also mentions medical payments coverage, which can help pay for medical bills not covered by your health insurance, including copays and deductibles. One thing riders love is that many insurers reimburse based on the purchase price of the e-bike, not its depreciated value. That can make a big difference if you invested in a high quality model. The article does a great job explaining these two sides of coverage. Comprehensive handles unexpected events such as weather damage, fire, it being stolen, vandalism, and even animal collisions. Collision coverage focuses strictly on damage caused by crashes, whether you're at fault or not. Here in Florida, I've heard stories of everything from battery chargers destroyed by lightning strikes to riders losing control after a pelican flew directly into their path. These are situations where home insurance won't help, but comprehensive or collision coverage would save the day if you had a standalone e-bike insurance policy. When you think about how much e-bikes cost, many between $1,200 to $4,000, having separate coverage for these real-world risks makes a lot of sense. Liability coverage is one of the most important parts of any e-bike policy. I would say any policy at all, really. Just like with cars, if you're responsible for an accident that injures someone or damages their property, liability coverage helps protect you financially. It protects your assets. And with e-bike usage increasing, accidents involving pedestrians and parked cars are becoming more common. The article also highlights medical payment coverage. A small but meaningful benefit. MedPay helps with your own medical costs if you're injured, covering things like copays or deductibles. It's not meant to replace health insurance, but it does help with those immediate out of pocket costs that come after an accident, even a simple fall. Vehicle contact protection becomes extremely important when you consider how many drivers in Florida are uninsured or carry very low limits. If an uninsured driver hits your e bike, this coverage helps pay for your injuries and for the damage to your bike. Think of it as the e bike version of uninsured motorist coverage for cars. The article also mentions roadside assistance for e bike riders. This is incredibly useful. If your chain snaps halfway through a long ride or your battery dies in the middle of Florida's summer heat, roadside assistance sends help and transports your bike to a shop. This is one of those small coverages you don't think about until you really need it. The article lists several companies that offer e-bike insurance, and each one approaches coverages a little bit differently. For example, Bike Insure has a straightforward monthly subscription model. Lemonade doesn't offer a traditional standalone e-bike policy, but you can add your bike to a homeowners or renters policy through a special endorsement. Marco is a big player in this space. Their policies start around $100 per year, and they also underwrite e-bike policies for companies like Geico and USAA. Progressive also offers coverage starting at around $75 annually, and it allows riders to add things like collision or comprehensive coverage. Sundays provide some of the lowest entry level prices, but their coverage is more limited since they don't offer liability protection. Understanding the differences between the carriers helps riders choose the option that matches their needs and the value of their bike. The article explains that buying an e bike policy works much like buying auto insurance. You'll need to provide your name, birth date, where you live, and how you plan to use the e bike. You also need the bike's details like the make, model, year, and purchase price. If an accident or loss occurs, insurers usually asks for a description of the event, photos, receipts, and possibly witness statements. If the bike was stolen, some insurers want proof that it was secured with an approved lock. After your deductible is applied, the insurer pays the remaining cost of repair or replacement. The article wraps up with a few frequently asked questions. One is whether your e-bike is covered if a friend borrows it. The answer depends entirely on whether your policy allows permissive use. Not all of them do, so you should always check your documents before handing your bike over to someone else. Another question is how much e-bike insurance costs. According to the article, prices often start around $100 per year, but can increase depending on how valuable your bike is and the coverage options you choose. Of course, the more expensive your bike is, it's going to cost more to insure it. There's also a question about battery fires. Home insurance may cover certain types of fire damage, but insurers can deny the claim if they believe negligence contributed, such as using an incorrect charger or not following safety instructions. That's all, folks. If you found this quick bite helpful, please like this video, share with friends, and drop a comment below with any insurance questions you'd like for me to cover in a future episode. As a reminder, Quick Bite episodes now drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. This video is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, tax, or specific insurance advice. Please consult a licensed insurance professional about your unique situation. This is Rashonda with the ISOM Insurance Group here in sunny Florida. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Please stay safe out there. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Visit us at isomInsuranceGroup.com.